It's ironic that the one place that is supposed to be our safe haven from the world, where we can let down our guard and drop our shields and take off our mask, ends up being the place where we're most likely to get stabbed in the back. That's what love is like for most of us. Either it's heaven or it's hell. When you feel connected, you feel safe and loved and at peace with the world. But when you're disconnected and you're fighting over stupid things, you wonder what you're even doing here. Being single was better than this. At least when you were single, you could come home and no one would yell at you. When we fall in love and we decide to be with somebody, it comes with an agreement. We're supposed to be on each other's sides. We're supposed to be allies. But that's not what happens. We end up turning on each other. We look at this person that we're supposed to love, and we see somebody who's standing in the way of what we want. So how can you stop yourself from getting into huge fights all the time? Well, this tip can help. Hi, I'm Amy Waterman, a dating and relationship expert with yourbrilliance.com. And in this video, I'm going to be teaching you about flooding. Once you learn to spot flooding, you can keep this relationship killer out of your arguments and feel safe again. There is a point of no return in most fights. You're no longer even trying to solve whatever it is because it's become personal. It's about how mad you are at each other and what a dumb idea it was to tie your lives together. That feeling of being swamped by negative emotions is called being flooded. And if you and your partner do nothing else, I want you to learn to spot when you're flooded so that you can take a break before it's too late. Now, by definition, fights are pretty intense emotionally. Otherwise, they would just be disagreements, right? On a good day, you can feel that intense reaction, but not give into it. You can think through what you want to say before you say it. And you can hear what your partner's saying, even if you don't like it. But on a bad day, you feel that intense emotional reaction, and your thinking mind shuts down completely. You go into fight or flight. It's like warning sirens are going off, and the danger is that person in front of you. It's either attack or defense. There's no reasoning anymore. Once you get to that stage, you can't continue the argument because nothing good is going to come of it. No matter what you say, it's going to be hurtful, and that damage will be lasting. So what you need to do is, number one, notice that you're flooded. Number two, tell your partner you're flooded. And number three, take a break. It's going to take about 20 minutes of being on your own, doing something soothing to calm that reaction down. So you can go for a walk, you can lie down on your bed and listen to music. Just get away from the situation until those emotional floodwaters recede. Now, I used to think that it was stonewalling to walk away from an argument in progress. We had something we needed to sort out, and it was my job to stick in there and see it through. But what happened was that the argument would just get worse and worse. We'd get further and further away from what we'd been talking about in the first place. Sticking with the argument did not help us solve it. It just created an opening for more and more ugliness. So start noticing the point at which your arguments cross the line from constructive to destructive. Start noticing the point where you stop arguing about the issue and you start arguing about each other. And that's when you need to take a break. Now, the way you do this is not by yelling at your partner, calm down and get a grip, nor is it by saying, I'm not standing here one more minute listening to you talk like this. I'm leaving. It's by using very specific language. You can say, I'm feeling flooded and I'm finding it hard to talk right now. I want to finish this conversation, but right now I need to take a break. Can we come back to this later? Now, unless your partner knows what being flooded means, that's not going to make any sense. So you need to have a conversation about this, the sooner the better, about what you're learning right now in this video. Sometimes just talking about how you fight and how it makes you feel can make a huge difference. When you love each other, you really don't want to hurt each other. So ask your partner to work on this with you. The stakes are huge. If you can learn to spot when you're being flooded and stop before you say something you'll regret, you're going to feel safer around each other. You're going to feel more like allies and less like enemies. The last thing you need to remember is that you're making a promise to come back to the topic when you're feeling calmer. You're putting a pause on the discussion right now, but the problem isn't going away. You still have to work through it. And next time, you'll feel grounded enough to stick to the topic rather than fighting about each other. Now, what do you do when you get into a fight with your loved one? Have you found any strategies that work for you personally? If so, share your tips with us in the comments. And for more tips about how to stop fighting, then make sure to check out my next video on the role of stress in conflict. See you next time.